All right, let's talk about something that pretty much runs the world, economics. Specifically, we're going to dive into the Cambridge IGCSE in economics. We'll look at what you'll actually learn, why it's such a big deal, and honestly, how it can give you the tools to build your own future. So let's jump right in. Okay, so let me ask you something. You ever wonder why your phone costs what it does? Or what's really going on with those global trade deals or climate change policies you hear about on the news? How do you even begin to make sense of all that? Well, a huge part of the answer is economics. It's like the hidden language that explains why we make the choices we do and how our world is put together.
And if you decide to jump in, you are definitely not alone. Get this. Nearly 1 million students every single year from 10,000 schools in 160 countries start their journey on the Cambridge pathway. So yeah, this isn't just some random course. We're talking about a global standard for education.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll cover why you'd even want to study economics. Then we'll get into your economic toolkit, all the cool stuff you'll learn. After that, we'll look at the assessment challenge, the exams. And finally, we'll talk about the skills you'll have for your future. Simple enough, right? Let's kick things off with the why. All right, Section 1, why study economics? We're talking about the promise of a global qualification here.
And look, don't just take my word for it. The Dean of Admissions at Duke University, yeah, that Duke, says the Cambridge curriculum is superb preparation for university. I mean, when a top-tier school says that, you know it means something. This qualification is basically designed to be a launch pad for, well, whatever you want to do next.
But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just about exams. It's about the skills you get for life. I mean, look at this list. You'll learn to apply economic analysis, develop numeracy, but my favorite? Distinguish between facts and value judgments. Think about that. In today's world, with so many headlines and opinions flying around, being able to tell the difference, that's a superpower. It's not about being told what to think. It's about learning how to think, and that's something you'll use forever. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Section 2, your economic toolkit. I want you to think of the syllabus not as a boring list of topics you have to memorize. Instead, think of it as 6 powerful tools you're going to add to your belt, tools you can use to really understand and analyze the world. First up, tool number 1, the basic economic problem. This is the big one, the core idea of all economics, scarcity. It's simple, really. We have limited stuff. Time, money, resources, but we pretty much have unlimited wants. This simple fact forces us to make choices, and that leads to this huge concept called opportunity cost, which just means that the real cost of anything is what you had to give up to get it. Okay, so if everything's limited, how do we decide who gets what? Well, tool number 2 is all about that, the allocation of resources. This is where you learn about the engine of the market. You've heard of it, supply and demand. It's like these invisible forces that set the price for absolutely everything, from your morning coffee to those impossible-to-get concert tickets. It's how stuff gets divided up, all without anyone really being in charge. All right, from there we zoom in. Tool number 3 is about the microeconomic decision makers. Who's actually making all these choices? We're talking about households, you and me, workers, trade unions, and of course businesses. This is microeconomics. It's where you get to peek inside their heads and figure out why they do what they do. And just as we zoom in, we've got to zoom way out. Tool number 4, government and the macroeconomy. This is the big picture stuff. We're asking massive questions here. How does a government try to manage an entire country's economy? What does it even take to create jobs, fight inflation, and make the economy grow for millions and millions of people? It's huge. Once you have that big picture view, you can start asking even bigger, more important questions, like why are some countries wealthy while others struggle with poverty? Tool 5, Economic Development, gives you the framework to really dig into that. You'll learn how to compare living standards and understand what really drives a country's development. And finally, the last tool in our kit, number 6, International Trade and Globalization. This is the one that ties it all together. Because, let's be real, in today's world, no country is an island. Here, you'll explore how countries trade with each other, what's up with exchange rates, and how a decision made in one part of the world can send ripples across the entire globe. Okay, so you've got this awesome new toolkit, but how do you show that you actually know how to use it? Well, that brings us to our third section, the assessment challenge. Let's break down the exams so they're not some big, scary mystery. It's actually pretty straightforward. It's split into 2 papers. Paper 1 is multiple choice. It's 45 minutes, 30 questions, and it's worth 30% of your total grade. It's a quick check of your knowledge and analysis. Then you have paper 2. This one's the main event. It's over 2 hours long, and it's where you answer structured questions. This is worth a whopping 70% of your grade, and it's not just about what you know. It's about how well you can analyze and evaluate. And this chart really shows you what they're looking for. See, it's not just about memorizing facts. Knowing stuff is 40%, but analyzing it, connecting the dots, that's another 40%. And that last 20%, evaluation, that's where you make your own reasoned judgments. They really want you to think like an economist, not just repeat what's in a textbook. And honestly, that way of thinking is what this is all about. It's what sets you up for the future. So for our final section, let's look at exactly where this qualification can take you. You can kind of think of it like a 4-step ladder. Step 1, you master IGCSE Economics. That gives you the rock-solid foundation you need for Step 2, excelling in more advanced studies like AS and A levels. Then, Step 3, that success gets you into a great university. And Step 4, that opens the door to a fantastic career in this global economy. It's a really clear path forward. But it's about more than just grades on a piece of paper. The whole Cambridge approach is designed to help you become a certain type of person, a Cambridge learner, someone who's confident with ideas, responsible, reflective, innovative. You can see the list. And trust me, these aren't just buzzwords. These are the exact qualities that top universities and future employers are all looking for. And that path forward is truly global. I love this quote from the head of a school group in Indonesia. They say it provides an international pathway for students to study anywhere in the world. And that's the perfect way to put it. This qualification isn't just for one country. It's like a passport. It's recognized and respected pretty much everywhere. So that brings us full circle. Economics really is the story of our world. It explains our choices, our challenges, and all of our opportunities. Getting this qualification gives you the toolkit not just to watch from the sidelines, but to actually get in the game and help shape your own future. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to get started?